Powering secret underground military facilities. Ah, yes, yes, yes. You can't ever leave those unpowered for too long. Oh my god, look. Something. U-boat's probably your best friend. Oh, that is an angle. Alright, here we are. Okay, let's close some things down. Roleplay is one of the major interests of Ryzom, and around channel is an important place to practice. This is basically your local chat. This is the region, which right now is Sealand. This is Universe, the whole game. This is your OC channel, if you like. System info user, you can set up which chat channels are in there. They're pretty standard stuff, even for back in the day. Right, okay. This is Sealand. When you pop in, you will be somewhere over the rainbow. Where do the people start? I think it's over here. Let me wander over there. Also, look at this beautiful, beautiful place. The giant roots of Attis, high overhead. We are currently in the ranger camp. Haha! I spy an Ignis. Hello. A Phyrosion. Sheelab over here, also a Phyrosion. Very purple. Very Sheelab, to be fair. Extreme purple. There is nothing more Sheelab. You can go all the way in. Hello. Donk. I will simply say hello. Because I am super lazy. I will not type. Womp, 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 womp. That can be scrolled to. Actually, that can live up here. Womp. Not even sure what that is. Womp. There we go. We have a couple other peeps around. So, you'll have a... Ooh, actually, how loud is the game right now? When you're hearing the giant Artesian whales singing in the distance, the lumbering giants down in the prime roots trying to make themselves heard, how loud is that for you? Because now that I'm in, I can actually use the settings to change things up a little bit, dial in some of the audio. Down there is the prime roots. Down past the bark. Up there. Well, we won't talk about up there. How loud was that? It's not that loud. Okay, good. The groans from titanic creatures down deeper in the planet's core. That thundering footsteps. I think I can probably afford to turn this up a little bit now. Yeah, I think that's fine. Prime roots? Yes. So, Attis is basically a tree. The whole planet is a tree. Well, I think it's actually a moon. And, you know, it's got its woody, rooty core. And then the prime roots, which is the the sort of just below the mantle area. Then up to the surface, the bark, where we are right now. Again, everything in Attis is organic. Everything that's native to Attis is organic. And then I will show you the two kind of like deific groups. But then we will get to a bit more of the gaming. So that over there, that metallic looking structure, sorry for not having very good camera control. Yeah, that's not made of anything that comes from Attis, like at all. And you'll see what I mean when I said they've got kind of like stormtrooper vibes. Sexy stormtrooper vibes. These are the caravan. They are visitors to this world. Effectively godlike due to their technology. Though they specifically worship a goddess. And through them, through your interaction with them, you're effectively worshipping that goddess. And then you have the kami, who are the kind of the native spirits, deities of Attis itself. We'll go and say hello to them. Pop in. Oh, I can't get in there. Down. Okay. These are the kami. Not them. Those are just kami guardians. These are the kami with their galaxy eyes. Thank you. I am very, very impressive, I know. Little guys, yep. Little guys that will straight up murk you if you cross them. Like, when you're extracting, so like harvesting resources in this game, there's a whole mini game to the act of harvesting. If you're harvesting from animals, it's literally just kill the animal, then butcher its corpse. But when you're harvesting from the planet, that's what those green things on the floor were. If you noticed those, those are resource nodes. These are mech tubes. The rideable variant. These are mounts. And there are pack mech tubes as well. But these over here. This is a raw material source. I will quickly switch over to my harvesting getup. And I'm going to gently extract. Oh, actually, I don't even need to. So, the source contents, how many things are in this node. Basically, these things bubble up from the innards of Attis, and they contain various things like oils and fibers. The source life, like the literal life of this source, extraction risk, their source life, the source content, and the local kami tolerance. If enough people are harvesting in an area, they over-harvest it. If they aggressively extract from Attis, the kami start getting increasingly upset. If you continue to do this, the risk of harvesting, the extraction risk, you can gently extract resources, you can like harmfully extract them. Harmful is much faster and you tend to get more. But as a consequence, this like node might erupt. It might release a poisonous gas. It might bubble acid to the surface and catch you. And that does a lot of damage. Or can. If you manage to annoy the kami, though, something I've never managed to do. I've never been that stupid. I believe they just straight up kill you and everyone nearby. It's like yeah, oh, cute little guys that will literally rip you open. And everything living nearby. A terrifying alien Lorax, yes. Kami Hami Han, god damn it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, you can actually rent mounts here. Someone riding off on a mech tube. I like the mech tubes. All right, so once you are done over yonder, where Ignis was, you will. It's basic. This is how you move around. This is how you use the camera. Prove to me that you can actually click on a thing that I tell you to click on. kind of stuff. Very, very old school kind of tutorial. Though, that being said, I mean, to be fair, quite a lot of them still do it. Even modern ones are like, do you know how to use your mouse to move the camera? It's like, well, you'll be sent over here to just kind of introduce yourself. At this point, you could also just leave if you were like, yeah, I don't want to do anything at Sealand, I want to leave. I recommend not doing that. I recommend instead following the missions, and there are lots of missions here. The missions are split up into your kind of main skills. So you've got, in fact, actually, it'll probably help for me to open up the levels. So you've got 4 main branches: fighting, magic, crafting, and harvesting. And there is a trainer for each one of these 4. And they'll give you some basic missions, and they'll teach you how to build your skills using all of these sorts of things. That's how all of that will go. But to give you an idea, if you're a free, if you've got a free account, then you will have up to level 125 of 250 in skills. So with magic, I've already gotten past level 20. So the first generalization is just fighting up to level 20, but let's say magic. From there, you start to specialize in offensive magic and defensive magic. From here, you'll specialize in whether you're using afflictions or elementals. So like things like fear or madness versus things like straight up, yeah, I'm going to hit you with rot damage or acid damage. Different things are resistant or vulnerable to certain things. And then this further splits. So that's like level 20 to 50. At level 50, in like elemental magic, this would split further. Same with offensive magic. Right now, if I use an offensive spell, because I'm beyond that level of general learning with magic, I will now only level up offensive magic. If I want to level up defensive, I've got to use defensive spells. And this is the true for everything. Melee fighting, range fighting, so guns, literal guns. Ranged in this is either guns or magic. Melee is, there's a bunch of different weapons. In fact, actually, I can't show you that one. But in crafting, armor, dual, melee, ranged, one-handed, two-handed. Melee will split into one-handed, two-handed, or close combat. Dual crafting is anklet, bracelet, diadem, earrings, pendants, rings. Armor is heavy, light, medium, shield, and then they further specialize into boots, gloves, so on and so forth. There are huge amounts of this. Snapping says, I remember playing this like 20 years ago. Didn't know it was still up. Yeah, it's gone through like phases of the developer who bought it kind of collapsing in on themselves like a flan in the cupboard. You know, you remember like when MMOs were this huge new sort of thing. Like I've watched all kinds of documentaries on this and how they there was this bubble of MMOs, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, they were all competing for the same subscriptions, and then it kind of moved around from subscription models to non-subscription, so on and so forth. This has lived through several iterations and is currently in kind of a freemium state. It's developed at this point by the community, I believe, rather than by by a specific developer studio. It's not like maintained by the community like Star Wars Galaxy emulation or even Stonehearth Ace. They straight up have the source code. They are fully maintaining it rather than just like, oh, we're just trying to patch the leaks that we can from the outside. Foxy all over, thank you very much for the Prime sub. That's really, really kind of you. Poison BL says, that sounds like a good way to troll some folks. You would have to have a small army in order to actually troll people with that. That is not, like, the rate at which that ticks up is slow. The only real way for that to happen is genuinely, like, way too many people are trying to harvest an area. In response to the Kami just, like, nuking everyone. Now then, so as I was saying, there are different teachers, different merchants around here as well, and all sorts of little bits and bobs that I'm actually not familiar with, but different things in the world that you can do. We've got the hello. I do not understand Krillic, sadly. Let's close that down. I will open it up if they say something else. So you've got the Chief Explorer. This is for harvesting and the harvesting trainer that you learn things from. I will actually show you the skill stuff in a moment. Let's head... Oh, did you just try to interact with me? I'm not actually sure. Invites you to exchange with him. Hello. Oh, that's... basic Parrock helmet of slashing protection. Not looking to trade at the moment. Let's actually see if they've been speaking in universe. Nope. Doesn't look like it. There we go. That's very nice of them to offer it, though. What are they? Passionate magician. I'm actually not sure what all of those mean. That was very nice of them, though. The community here is extremely welcoming. And generally speaking, if you just ask for help, help will be proffered. And most people will fight over being able to be the one to help you. But one thing I will say is there is PvP in this game, and to a certain degree, there is it's kind of baked in the same way as with Eve. This is a bit of an aside now, but there are certain places like that are comparable to Nullsec in Eve, where just going there means you're flagged for PvP. And as I've mentioned about the religious factions, Caravan and Kami are inherently antagonistic towards one another. But there is also very organized PvP as well in terms of outpost battles. Think kind of Guild Warsian world v world conflict, but over well, you could sort of think of them like regions of space in Eve. But the outposts effectively passively gather rare or very high quality materials, which will make more sense when we get into crafting. But controlling those outposts is actually so important that an entire faction will tend to back a guild who is trying to wrest control of an outpost from another faction or simply protect it. But much like Eve, rather than just like when it comes to outposts, hello. When it comes to outposts, it is you get someone registers their intent to try and fight for that outpost. What happens then is you will get a date when that battle will go down. They can't do anything until that date. Much the same with Eve. You kind of have to, going for sovereign structures, it kind of, you give everyone fair warning. It's rather than, oh, I'm just going to show up and murk you. It's like, no, we're going to do this properly like gentlemen. There are rules to a duel. But, this duel can involve hundreds of people. So at that point, generally speaking, or this was the case back when I played a few years ago, it would be in the faction's interest to back up the guild, whether they're the one attacking or whether they're the one defending. So let's say a caravan aligned guild would owned an outpost and someone declared that they were going to attack it. Well, that faction would probably rally as many other guilds as they could to be there for that time, and a huge battle would take place. A few years ago, yeah, when it came out on Steam, like around 2016. I guess it's more than a few now, but yeah, look, I'm still struggling with the whole mental, there's a black hole in my memory that is assigned to time, which started around 2020, ended around 24. those years don't exist chronologically in my brain. It just goes straight from 2019 to 2024, and there's not really much going on there. So few years to me, but realistically, like, you know, coming up on 10 now. Oh my Lord. Just thinking about that is kind of weird. Yeah, COVID's done that to me too. I think it's done it to most people, to be fair. It just like when your day to day was like, I am in my house and that is all I am. I am in my house. That is all I am. I am in my, that kind of steals time in a little way. But anyway, let's not get distracted by that. But yeah, so the outpost battles will be massive, massive affairs. Typically, like, more comparable to Guild Wars World v World, like, you know, battles, which is super cool. Right. This is the Master Crafter. So we got the Harvester over there, teaches you extraction. The Crafter over here. They are the Harvester is Trika, the Crafter is Mattis. We've got the Zorai Mage trainer over here, and then around on this side. Actually, let me put this pick away before I take some Zai out. There we go. We've got the Phyros combat trainer. Getting old has done it to me. I realize that I'm working with people who weren't even born when I graduated high school at this point. I mean, I guess, yeah, fair. I imagine that is something that everyone's going to experience at some point. Considering all that has gone on in the world in that time, it is strange that it feels that way. But yeah, I understand what you mean about the COVID memory hole. I do get what you're saying though. A lot of stuff happened. Like there should be more like memory. Yeah, what's the best way of putting it? Like milestones. Like I think your memory of the passage of your concept of the passage of time is closely associated with milestone moments, and it's not like we didn't have a lot of those from 2020 to 2024. But weirdly, they didn't stick the way that normal things do. Like most people, like when you're young, this is why time seems to stretch out so long, because you're encountering lots of things for the first time. You're learning stuff. I mean, heck, you know, you're like going to work in your 20s and like, why did the days just pass so quickly? I barely remember what happened this week, and now it's the weekend again. And it's because, like, yeah, you're doing the same thing every single day. It's boring as sin, and your brain isn't paying attention anymore. Whereas when you're in school, it's like, oh my God, this is new, that is new. Have you seen what they just did? There's a fight going on after school. So-and-so is going out with what's-her-face. And it's like every single second is some other very important bit of tea that you need to, like, stamp in the memory calendar. And then the older you get, the less those milestones happen. You hit your 20s, you get a job, and then like suddenly the days start passing like water. I imagine by the time you're 50, the weeks and months are passing like water. By the time you're 60, it's like, yes, like I went out to that person, like we went to church yesterday. No, they've been dead for 5 years. What? It's like, yeah, no, and several of your kids have gotten married in this time. How do you not remember this? It's like, the years are passing so quickly. I imagine it just gets more and more acute the older you get. Like how it's somehow already February. Yeah, no, exactly. Anyway, so those are the trainers. Each one has a bunch of missions which will gradually introduce you to how to play the game. But I've mentioned skill crafting. I've mentioned crafting a couple of times. So let me showcase that a little bit. I don't have access to many skills. You know, I've got mostly magic skills, so let me do it in here. So new action. What am I going to make? Let's have a look. It's not an attack. It's not crafting. Armor or weapons. It's going to be a magic spell. Let's say I want to be more of a helpy healy boy. Let's go with a celestial missile. So that's more of a direct. A missile is more of a direct applied spell, whereas a affliction is a channeled spell, if you like. So let's go with celestial missile. What effect? I've only got one effect. Okay, this was a poor example. Do I have more in afflictions? No, I've also... Okay. I may not be as much of a helpy healy boy as I am a deliverer of the ouch stick. Nevertheless, let's say I wanted to be a helpy healy boy. I've got a heal spell effect. I've got 3 levels of it, so that apply different amounts of healing. Let's say I want a very light healing spell. So by adding that option, I've now got to pay off. I'm in debt. I can't cast it. It's impossible. The range would be 50 meters. The cast duration with this. The success rate would be that. But I can't cast it because I'm not in balance yet. So I've got to add a credit. Now I can do that in lots of ways. I could just straight up apply. You can only have one version of any of these. So if I use this, I couldn't then add this as well. But I could change this one into this one. Let me demonstrate that. I can't now add any sap effects because I've already got a sap effect. I just need to choose what level of that effect. Range, so reducing the range. These are all debuffs. So this is a debuff because it would cost me stamina. Right now it costs me nothing. This would be a debuff because it would reduce the range. This would be a debuff because it would increase the casting time. This would be a debuff because it would cost me health. But let's say I wanted to be a very selfless, helpy healy boy. Then I could give them life at the expense of mine. So I'm now in credit, so I'm getting a difficulty bonus. Notice how the chance of working that has increased. But this will cost me 12 hit points. Let's see, can I increase this up a little bit? No, I can't, not easily. So for 12 hit points, I will give someone else 15. That's a net gain. If you had 2 people that had similar things, you could just bounce heals between each other, just slowly creating more health cumulatively between you. But let's say that I didn't want to use the health credit. Let's say I wanted range, which I can pay exactly. There we are, range credit. Now, the thing with this is this credit, some things are just flat, like the health one is exactly that. It'll only ever be 12. But this is a power. The sap one is a consumption, but casting time is also a power. And the thing with power is it's dynamic. When you're building a skill out of something which is a power rather than a flat malus, the consequence, how heavily you feel the effect of that is based on how much of the cost is made up by it. So right here, I'm paying 100% of this spell's cost with a range credit, with a range debuff. That's why I've gone from 50 meter range to 1. But let's say that this was a 10, it cost me 10. Well, let's now use a casting time credit. Notice how the range is only halved, because only half of the cost of the spell is being paid by range debuff, so it's only reduced the range by half instead of by effectively 100% with the absolute minimum being 1. Likewise, I have got I believe we have, let me just double check. If I take that out for a second, oh, wrong button, I've got a left click. Our casting time is 2.8, but adding this in, casting time goes up to 6.4. So I've doubled it with this. But if I were to take this out and instead... Oh, I can't really do that. Okay, let me bring this down to the lower one. That's now 10 seconds. Rather expensive. I've literally quadrupled the cast time because I'm paying it entirely in time. But I could, if I wanted a very slow to cast free heal, I could do that if I wanted to. As for missile, like the offensive missile, I've got acid, cold, rot, different damage types. Again, you're gonna find that the nature of stuff is much more kind of focused on plants. So rot, for example, acid, just because of the nature of Attis. Let's put a rot effect in there. There we go. This will do 90 points of damage. Now let's try and pay for that. It requires 30. So even if I use my maximum cost of sap, which is 25 sap, my mana effectively, I still can't cast this. I would still need to build it out of something else. I could use up a lot of life in order to do it, but that's not. I could make this happen with range debuff and time debuff, but notice how it hasn't been as aggressive, because still these are not, this is only 1/6 of the total cost, so you know the effect of it is much lower, much less pronounced. It's only a 4-second cast time. Still costs me 25 sap, but I can cast it up to 38 meters away. And in fact, I'm overpaying by a little bit, so I could probably dial that down. There you go, up to 41 meters now. And it is a pure match, so I'm getting no benefit. But if I wanted to give myself a benefit, I could. And that goes, it'll go up a little bit. So an extra 2% success chance. But there are other options. I could put in concentration, for example. Now that would add to the cost. So now I've got to try and make this up. So I need another 6 credits. I could put in life. So I would lose 12 hit points. I would cost 25 sap. I could cast it out to 40 meters. But there's an 83% chance of doing it. Concentration isn't a good one here because I'm not concentrating on the spell. I just cast the spell. This would be good for a drain spell. Let's go with that. So a drain spell is a dot, and an affliction spell is something like roots, and, you know, literally holding something in place. Let's go with a drain spell. So an acid drain. So damage per second is 45 plus 30. So I think it. Oh yeah, then that's the cost. Sorry. So success rate is only 12 right now. So I would probably want a concentration. Oh, success rate went down. Oh, sorry, it's because I can't pay for it yet. Let's go with you. Let's add these in as well. Bump and bump. There we are. 82%. Now we could add concentration. Increases your skill against interruptions by up to 25. Maximum. Oh, actually, no. You know what? This would apply to all spells, because if, for example, I was casting a spell that took me 4 seconds and something hit me in that time, I might lose concentration and fail to cast the spell. I could be interrupted. So this would realistically help on any spell. But yeah, there's lots of different things you can do. I'm not going to create that magic right now. There's no reason to, based on the things that I've got. Is there some fine balancing you can do, like 20, 80, 40, 60? Because you can't stack an effect. You always have to put way too many malice types, even though you want a long-ranged heal for mana only. You can do that. So, for example, let me just go back into this. Actually, let's just go to this one. No, you said long-range heal. Let's bring that up as an example. Let's do the maximum one and add a credit. Right now, I only have sap credit 9. Okay, that's as high as I've got that skill. But this credit, there are higher levels of this that cost more sap. I just don't know them yet. But let me demonstrate how you pick these up. Where's the magic trainer? I totally know what buttons I'm pressing. I know everything. How dare you even question me? Welcome back, Rotrain. Right, so if we go over to the... Actually, I could have just brought this up through my skill, thinking about it. So if I go in here, we can see the various abilities, but I can look at upgrades. Will it show it there? No, it won't. Okay, never mind. But... Oh, it might actually be in here now. Can I see? Yeah, there we go. So sap gift there. At level 25 to 29 in either of these, I could pick up sap credit 10, which would allow me to spend more sap on something, and so on and so forth. As you go down, you can pick up better options for spending. It's just that I don't have I don't have access to these yet. But you can make something that only costs sap if that's what you want to do, or only costs life, just as you keep going. Is magic called sap? Yes. Sap is, again, it's very, like, you know, flavored towards Attis, basically a tree planet. So the magic is sap. Focus is, okay, let me go through this. So this is my health. Health is health. Sap is your currency for magic, but you can use other things depending on which credit options you've purchased through training. Stamina is your typical credit for physical exertion, so combat. focus is your mental credit for crafting or extracting. Can anyone join? Is it easy to catch up? It's 6 a.m. and I am still waking up and just now looking on Steam. Yes, anyone can join. Absolutely anyone can join. We did cover a small bug that some people have if they use the Steam client to creating characters. Basically, if you are on the Discord thing and already being dipped, so you have access to all of the channels, go into the Ryzom general forum that I've set up, and you'll find, I think, did Nine post it in there, or was that only in the Dapper Baron Den? Either way, there's some tips over how to address a particular bug with character creation that sometimes affects the Steam client, but not always. I think it's probably hardware related. Can confirm that Nine guy posted it in there as well. Oh, that Nine guy is so cool. And like, just Nine is an ass. But Nine guy, best person. Right, so this is your trainer. I don't have any magic points currently because I've recently spent them all. But in here, you could buy anything. So these are the actions. And some of these will teach you other things as well. For example, some of them will teach you, like, it'll have a higher than usual cost. Like, this one's only 13, whereas it probably should be a lot higher. It's just I have learned a lot of the components in this from other places. I've learned this, and I've learned this. So really all I'm buying right now would be this, the higher level of healing. So it's a relatively cheap purchase for me. Likewise, some of them are like odd numbers. You can pick these up. They will teach you different components if they are necessary for it. But mostly you'd be picking up the actual actions themselves, because they'll teach you a whole spell rather than just a component. However, you can go to upgrades and just buy the components individually. In this case, I could improve my fear spell or my healing spell, so on and so forth. Powers and auras. These are like high cooldown effects. Like, I can self-heal my sap. It's basically like a reusable pot that regenerates, but it's just on a very long cooldown. So a 2-minute cooldown. And you can upgrade these. You can move faster with this skill. Auras are increase the hit point regeneration speed of yourself and nearby teammates. Just general things. Anti-magic shield provides invulnerability to magic attacks for a little while. Your emergency. Oh my god, I am being swarmed by mages. Let's hit that button so I can stab them all in the face before I die to their magic missiles. Characteristics. Every trainer, like, magic is focused on hit points and sap. But pretty much every trainer will allow you to train up your health. But it is kind of limited at certain levels. So I would be able to train this at fighting level 15, or magic level 30, or harvest level 22, or crafting level 60. Okay, the magic system caught me so bad. Thanks, Aavak. What? I did nothing wrong. So that's the training for your magic. It's very similar for other skills. So let's actually, let me get rid of that. That shouldn't be there. Dunk and dunk. So let's say I was making a combat skill. This is the weapon compatibility currently. Just default attack. Costs me nothing. You can always default attack. So there we are. Boom. Compatible with every single weapon. But let's make this a little bit more specific. I want to be accurate when I attack. I've only got one benefit there, but that's fine. Reduces the chance of your enemy dodging. Maximum efficiency for a weapon up to level 20. The weapon itself, which my weapons currently are level 20. From there, I would now need to add in a credit, so I can use my folk stamina. Or I can get a little bit more fancy, but let's go for some other things. Let's say I wanted to increase damage as well, but I wanted to increase it a lot. So increases damage up to double Maximum efficiency for weapons up to 20. What's the first level? Oh, only weapons up to level 10. So by... Ooh, I didn't need to click on that. But I could, I suppose. Since I've got a stronger weapon, I want the higher version of it. But now this is going to cost me 15. How am I going to pay for that? Well, I can use a decent amount of stamina. So it consumes 0.56 times weapon weight stamina. So heavier weapons use more stamina. But I still got 5 points that I need. Right now, I have no flat... I have no flat currency that I can pay. I can't pay a little bit of health in order to make that happen. But I can instead choose one of these. Opening after dodge, opening after parry, opening after critical hit. So let's have a look at that. Makes the action only usable after you deliver a critical hit. Gives 10 credits. You can go for a couple of these combined. Obviously, you don't want to dodge and a parry. They're kind of mutually exclusive. But, oh, actually, no, that one is, they're all mutually exclusive. I believe there are some that you can get later on, though, which kind of layer. But effectively, these typically mean that you, until your next attack, that's the window of opportunity. So opening after parry, if I successfully parry an attack, currently I believe I'm set to dodge. Yeah, I'm in dodge mode, so I wouldn't want that. I would want the dodge one. So remove you, pop in dodge. Opening after dodge. When I successfully manage to dodge, then I can pay for that with a little bit less stamina, but this ability becomes active. I've already got one of these set up over there. That's exactly what this one is. Yeah, actually, it's exactly the same. So this one is only there when I have successfully dodged, but because I can't afford to have both of them together normally, I've just got two other ones, one for heavy attacks where I'm already accurate enough, and another one for when I'm struggling. But realistically, that should be gone because I'm no longer using a level 10 weapon. So let's get rid of you completely. Bump. There we go. And move that one down to this. There we are. That's the new action. Right now, these are all fine with any weapon that I could possibly have. But later on, you're obviously going to start getting into things that make more sense for certain types of weapons. And that's where that will start diverging. I'm just not at that point yet. I've probably invested way more in my magic than other things. As for the crafting, well, I'll get to crafting in a moment. Next, also it's nighttime. Ambient beats to sleep by. Little light rain patter. Insect sounds. Bird sounds. Very chill. Can you make an attack that just uses stamina, but if you crit parry or dodge, example, it does something else? No. Like, you can't have a conditional within a skill, but you could have two different skills. Like, one that you only use stamina on, like I do here. That only uses stamina. But when I have successfully dodged, it opens up a more powerful skill that I can trigger. That's effectively what I do with that. Yeah, action creation in this game is amazing. It's one of the things that I like the most about it. But, by the way, chat, the weather, the season, the time of day, all of these things affect harvesting. In fact, they also affect animals because there's herd migration in this. Like, some animals will be in a different place depending on the time. They'll go somewhere in the morning. They'll go somewhere else in the evening. They might go based on the season, based on the weather. But these nodes, these are just naturally spawning. However, I can look for them. So I'm going to switch over to my my pick. Ooh. Oh, I'm getting close to the cliff edge. Right, so right now I've got two prospecting setups. I've got one which gives a little bit of time bonus and one that gives multiple sources. I've got one that will only find fine quality items. Let me bring up my backpack. Please don't judge me. I am a loot goblin. Also, if I kill something, I am going to take every bit of it that I can, and I will use it for something to honor its sacrifice. Right, so let me have a look at this. Have I got things of different rarities? I've got Yubo eyes. Okay, I don't have any Yubo eyes. I'm going to do something that's going to make chat extremely sad. I'm sorry, chat, but it has to be done. Where can I find a Yubo? Come hither, Yubo. I will tell you when you need to avert your eyes, chat. Bye-bye, Sheila. Here we are, a suckling Yubo. This is going to be very low level, so it's not a super good example. Hello, Yubo. Let me show. The Yubo is looking at me. Oh, was looking at me. Hello, little dude. Hi, Yubo. Look at his little tail. Itchy ear. Okay, so now that I've shown how cute it is, now is when you need to avert your gaze, chat. Don't worry, nothing bad is going to happen. I'm not carrying this sword for any particular reason. I just like the way it feels in my hand. No, don't look. Don't. That sound was the Yubo happily scurrying off to its Yubo family. Okay, you can look now, chat. Yeah, see? Scurried off. Not here. No. That I mean, yes. That is not another U-boat coming over to investigate, looking for its friend. That is the same U-boat that you just saw. See? Completely healthy and happy. It came back. Yeah, exactly. Don't ask questions on where I got this U-boat eye from. You don't need to know. I heard cute noises. What happened? Right, so this is not a great comparison because these are very different levels. This is a level 11 U-boat eye. This is a level 1 U-boat eye. I can't compare these because this is a Rendor eye and this is a U-boat eye. But I can sort of give you an idea. So we have a look at this. Ecosystem is common. Family, U-boat eye. Color is green. So if I use this in something, it's going to change the color of that thing to green. I could use it in jewels. I could use it in magic focuses. In a magic focus, it would have these effects on the stats. In a jewel, it would have these effects on the stats. This is a high quality U-boat eye. Notice that all of the stats are better. But this is also a fine U-boat eye. So there's the level. This is a level 11 U-boat eye, and the other one is like a level 1, I think. Quality 1, quality 11, sorry. But then it's got the rarity. That's the word I'm looking for. This is a fine rarity, which is different. Now, the Rendor eye, this is not fine, and this is one level of quality different, but look how different those stats are. This is also beige. Very beige. Likewise, it can be used as a jewel or a magic focus. Yes, your jewels are made out of eyes. What do you mean you don't wear eyes in your jewelry? My lord. But that's true of pretty much everything in this game. Everything has stats, it has colors, it can be used in different things. It can use a shaft or an ammo bullet. It'll have different effects based on what it's being used for. Obviously, some effects make more sense for certain things than others. It can be used as a point, or it can be used as a blade. This is a javelin beak of quality 15. It's I think it's basic, yeah. And so a crafter will have to use materials that create the stat spread that they want, or perhaps their client wants. The crafting in this is so gloriously easy to understand, but it has so much depth or potential for depth if you want to go for it. For a lot of the time, especially early game, it just doesn't matter what the stat spread is. You just want it, but you want a better, higher quality pair of pants. That's all you care about. But later on, as you get more focus on certain things, it's like, but I'm going to the jungle today. I need jungle pants. Or I'm going to be fighting enemies that use acid. I need acid-resistant pants. Or these are my stabby pants. I need it to give me better dodge because I'm all about dodging when I'm wielding a dagger. But if it were my rifle pants, well, I don't care about dodge. I just want damage, so on and so forth. Now you will get wildly different stuff from different species, also different qualities. Well, the qualities tend to just be better, higher level, bigger number, but generally the same ratio. The rarity can change it a little bit, but like Yubo versus Rendor, they're entirely different species. Versus Bodok, entirely different species. And also plants. This is Hash Amber. This is Far Amber. This is Zun Amber. They are effectively different species of amber. They will have different effects. These are what you get from harvesting, from extraction, gathering from these nodes. So this is Hash Amber. This is Far Amber. This is Zun Amber. So on and so forth. Fibers. You name it. Oils, bark, that kind of stuff. My backpack is so full of gubbins. I need to sell some gubbins. Let me quickly sell some gubbins so I can go and extract some gubbins and give you an example. I did not... You saw nothing, chap. I can't believe that my user feed would betray me like this. Raw materials merchant. Hello. I would like to trade. Run, Aavak has his stabby pants on again. What? 1 minute into the stream and this game already seems so fun. It's super fun. In my opinion, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And sometimes you just want simple number, not too complex, not influenced by other things. You do not want to worry about the scales. You just want to have one number and whether it's bigger or smaller. This is not the game for that. I mean, you can definitely play it that way, but you won't get the most out of it that way. Is there housing in game? Yes. Yes, it is. Guild halls, housing, mounts. However, I will say, the housing is part of the freemium stuff. So you will gain access to housing if you're a subscriber of the game. A free account cannot have housing. I believe they can have one rideable mount, whereas a premium supporter can have one rideable mount, 3 pack mounts, and believe me, those are actually genuinely quite important. I was talking with Leafin and Noin earlier. It's like some of the most dangerous places where you'll get the best materials. This game doesn't have dungeons or raids and stuff like that. It just has the world, and the world is effectively just one giant sliding scale dungeon. Certain places where you really want the prime reagents to be able to make the most exquisite pair of caster pants that you have ever seen. However, to even get to the place where you need to gather those things is going to require you going through some truly terrifyingly Stygian and Eldritch horrors. To even get the gatherers to the place where they can gather is going to require effectively a raid worth of people protecting you. That raid worth of people are going to run out of materials, like bullets, fairly quickly. So you're probably going to need a couple of people to come along with their pack animals just full of the provisions to keep your exploratory expedition going. And all of that just to gather the materials. It's quite wonderful. Right, okay, so let's have a look. How bad is it to just abandon the tutorial quest and just use Google as your tutorial? Because I'm stuck, and I have been for quite a while. Oh, okay, let's have a look. You can straight up abandon that quest, Demi. It says open the chest, and I have opened every bloody chest in the world. Fair. I didn't actually have... it is the chest next to Chiang the Strong. Let me showcase it. I believe I had a little bit of struggles with that one as well. I think it's this one. That is a chest. It does not look like a chest for me because I have already opened it. Unless this is the chest. Oh, this is the scenario editor. You can straight up make your own scenarios. It's kind of like you can build entire little worlds with their Forge editor. I have never touched on that. From what I understand, it's kind of like having your own sim in Second Life. But that is the most basic, most ill-informed description in this universe, because like I said, I've never really touched it. But I'm aware that you can do stuff with it. Anyway, so... Oh, by the way, what I was talking about, the auto-translation, this is what's going on in there. They're just typing in their native language, and it's one of the 5 supported languages. It's showing us which language it is, and then giving us the translation in our selected language. Sadly, Welsh is not on it. Makes me cry on the inside every time, but there we are. I will accept my second language. It's fine. So, I want to sell some things out of my bag. This is the merchant. I can just buy things. You can resale things. You can check your own things. The selling to other players is super easy in this game because every vendor in the game is effectively your vendor. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that I wanted to sell this fine quality Yubo nail to someone else. First, the way you would sell it to the merchant is unit value is 2, base price is 2. I could sell to the merchant. Sell now at the base price, shift enter. That's it. Boom, there we go. I've given it to the merchant. It's gone. The merchant will give me credits. However, if I wanted to sell it to a player, like it's really good. It's just I don't need it, but someone else might. You choose the resale margin. So right now, I'd need to put this at 50% to make any bonus. Unit resale price is 3. The resale price is 3. At this point, I'm basically giving it to the vendor and saying, hey, I'm not selling this to you, but if anyone else should come along at some point and want to buy it, this is how much you should sell it for. And that's it. It's now available for someone else to buy. If they buy it, then I will get 3. I'll get 2 right now. I'll get this right now. But if someone buys it within the time period, which is like a day, 2 days, something like that, then I'll get the resale margin, the extra 1. That'll just be deposited. But if no one buys within that time, then the merchant just pockets it and doesn't give you anything more. There is no auction house. Every vendor is the auction house. But I'm not sure if there is a central one. I don't know. I do not know if there is if there's like a central auction house or not. Yay, too bad I misvoted. There was no vote, Kayan. This is community game day. We are playing community game with the community. At least some of them. Oh, Arata, it seems it isn't. What you might want to do is talk in universe. I think universe is the one that translates. I could be wrong, though. But it could also be, you know, there are only 5. I think it's... Actually, I don't know which ones are officially supported. French, I think German, obviously English. Don't know. Don't know the others. Probably Spanish, I would guess. That's a pure guess, though. Right, I want to sell some bits. I've got way too much gubbins. Let's sell the gubbins. I am just going to sell straight to the merchant. You go ahead, take them for whatever price you will offer me. I need to empty the gubbins grotto that is my backpack. Yeah, there's no translation in around, sadly. Ah, there we are. Thank you very much, Tiny Goliath. Dunk. 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 I'm just going to empty my backpack. I have all of the bits. We will do more gathering later. of this. I am very certain. There is also one specialist thing that you notice that I can't sell, even though it's in my backpack, and that is generic material. Generic material is always low quality. Always the most basic of basics. This item cannot be sold to a merchant. You can get it from some quests, but it can be used for everything. But you'll notice it has no quality, no stats. It is the worst thing you can ever make anything out of. But for grinding up certain things, it's not actually that bad. Not bad, that bad at all. What the heck are these? Oh, I think there's some sort of... did I use one? Oh, yes I did. Oh! It's from the training quest. I've made a brain plant that I can fight to learn. I don't need those anymore. Goodbye. Hello, brain plant. I'm going to leave you there for someone else to fight and learn. Okay. So, I was going to showcase the extraction. So, these are the nodes that are being generated just by Attis itself. Heidi, time to magic. Shunk. By the way, I will join in and we'll form parties and start doing especially some of the quests that require like teams. But initially, the first couple of levels of every single trainer is something that you can easily do by yourself. Honestly, if you're cautious, you can do all of even the team things solo. It is until you get off Sealand that you really start hitting content that there is no conceivable way that you are ever going to do this solo. Right, so if I wanted to gather from this, let's have a look at what I've got. I have got a gentle extraction that I've built. It's got the regular harmful version of speed, harmful version of rate, increases the extraction quantity, increases the speed of the extraction. But I've got an upgraded, gentle version of quality. Gently extract materials of up to quality 20. So that puts a cap. I can, even if the site could give me higher quality, like 30 or something, I could not get it up there. I'd only ever hit the cap and sit there. But that gentle means that the node is not going to be as damaged. This is going to cost me focus, and I had to pay for that with that. But let's go ahead and do that right now. Padonk. So there we are. I am currently gathering basic anite fiber. So the gentle extraction means that the extraction risk isn't going to be as rough, but you know, as you can see, the speed and the quantity are still pulling that down. There's more harmful things that I am doing to this node than not. There we go. I failed, so this area is going to hurt me. Pop. Acid blast. It'll only ever do that once. It'll only ever cause a like a failure event. What actually, you know what, it might not do. It might in fact do it multiple times, but right now I don't think we've got any kind of nodes that would allow us to extract long enough to cause that. Now, that, as you saw, that, hello little Yubo, that didn't give us much. I can take that. There we go. I got a fiber from it. I can do it again. These are being auto-generated by Attis. This is just a wellspring, an overflowing of materials bubbling up from the surface. Once again, gently extracting. Probably not going to succeed too much on this one, though. Lady Shalom says, the tutorial just seems to get to a point where it finishes and moves on to you taking quests from camp leaders, but seems to get stuck at the chest. Oh, that's very interesting. The raw material source was permanently destroyed. So if I was looking for this source, which I will show in a moment by prospecting, that's now gone from this area for a bit. Won't be coming back for a little while. But now we'll move on to the prospecting. So I've got prospecting for fine, So as you saw in my backpack, there was some with a star, which meant that they were like a higher rarity. I'm prospecting for basic. Under fine, I've got only look for fine materials. And under time, give me a bit more time to extract from it, which will ideally allow me to get up to a higher quality or get more things out of it. But it's kind of expensive to do, as you can see. So I'm having to spend a lot of focus on this one. But let's go ahead and see if there are any fine materials nearby. I don't imagine there is. How the hell does prospecting work? I've been bashing my head against it for over 10 minutes. I will show you. Dedicated altruist. Is this true? It says so. You detected raw materials, but of a different class than the specified in your prospecting. So that was fine. Let's go for basic prospecting then. So this one gives me the extraction time bonus, so still going to add 5 seconds onto the extraction time, but this one could potentially find 2 sources at once. Like higher levels will just do a prospect and like 5 or 6 different sources will pop up. There's actually 2 here, so if I click on that and start gently extracting. Now this one is going to have more time, so I'm going to be able to get more out of this. But the maximum quality here is only 10, so I'm going to hit the quality very quickly. I've got 0.5, 0.9 items of quality 10. And this is getting very angry colored now. It's about to pop. Is it going to be acid or is it going to be gas? Acid, there we go. So I managed to get 2.2. I won't be able to get up to 3, I don't think. So I'll take all of that. But there was an extra one as well. However, that node has already run out. They have a lifetime. Where would it show that? Source life. So effectively, the countdown on someone interacting with that source had expired before I was done extracting the first one. So, there's different ways you can build that up, and there are different ways that you can set up your prospecting to make them last a lot longer so that you can manage to get to a couple of them at the same time. I'm going to close that down. It doesn't need to be open. That was the prospecting. But if you're looking for something specific, so if I have a look in here, I've got a tracking. So it's prospecting plan, deposit tracking, up to 50 meters. And I'm looking for only fine materials. So with that, if I trigger this, it should tell me where I can find some. Oh, by the way, I am still actually doing the action. It's just because I turned the camera around, it cancelled the animation and the sound effect. Right, you have dedicated different class, so I need to look somewhere else. Ignis. Okay, so prospecting is literally broken for me. Okay, so tell me what you're doing and what's happening as a consequence. What is it you're trying to do? I guess is the big question. You've detected raw materials, but of a different class. They said, I do prospect. It says resources are nearby, but nothing happens. Okay, show me where you're doing it. If you can come and lead me to where you are, then I can try prospecting there, and then we'll be able to see if it's just you or also me. But yeah, are you prospecting or are you tracking? Because tracking is a very different action. This will only tell me where something is. This will cause a source to erupt from the ground. You're at Chiang the Strong. Okay, I'm coming over there now. I hate the way I run with a pickaxe in my hand. Oh, hello. Oh, hi, funny man. You are on it. Noted. Next time I pass you, I shall send you a friend request. Hello, Wolfier. This is an early Aavak stream. Okay. Lead me to where you are prospecting. You are a passionate magician. I have no idea what these mean. Ah, there. Don't. Okay, yeah, no, I'm fairly certain there is nothing here for you to find. Of that, I am almost positive. I do not believe there are more resources here. Like, there might be a little bit around, but not in this exact spot. Oh, no, never mind. I lied. I'm amazing. You all suck. But crack on. You may use that. You are free to use that one. But I would recommend going over to a spot over yonder where you can see sources popping up from the ground. And just try prospecting over there as well, just to be certain. Sheelub is finding some as well. You certainly using... Oh, so Quantum Reagent, hello, mate. Welcome back for the second month, best month. Oh, 430 experience points were earned in Harvest. This experience points was earned because somebody else extracted one of your sources. Fantastic. There's a prospecting quest to get fine resources there. Ah. Well, I was only looking for basic ones. Let me use fine then. You have detected raw materials but of a different class than specified in my prospecting action, so I'm not finding them here. Are we sure they're at this particular spot? They might be. You know what? I could probably track them down using this. Using my tracking. Sometimes it's a little funky. Getting the longer range prospects and spinning around in a circle can help, yeah. Do you have to stand in that specific spot, or can you wander a bit? Right, okay, what we got? You've detected raw materials, but of a different class. So I'm not finding fine, then. No fine here. But I don't know if this is more of a... like a cone detection? Or not. Mr. Stream on Tuesday, due to work. But made it today. Welcome. We are doing community game. We're playing an MMO. It's a freemium MMO, but the free part is like half the game, so very much possible for you to just jump in. You've detected raw materials, but a different class. I am not finding any fine around here. But you're all welcome to join us. There's also a post on Discord. I imagine there may be some Dapperlings on Discord having a chitty chat. Oh, actually, no, there aren't. There are no Dapperlings having chitty. Oh, well, they're talking in the forum posts at the very least. Do we have a 9 on here already? I'll continue trying to scan around here, but yeah, I'm not finding fine materials around this area right now. Where is 9? Who is 9? Yeah. I am not finding fine materials around this area. I know that there was a quest to find them, but I think I took you over there. One thing to be aware of is the compass does not always point at a certain thing. It can sometimes be pointing at like targets. Well, right now it would be Lonnet. But if I was looking for a mission, usually I'll be given mission-specific zones. Click on that. And now it'll be pointing me roughly in the direction I need to be. I'll do you one better. What is... Oh, God. God. I was going to say Guardians of the Galaxy reference. Technically, yes, but more of an endgame reference. I've even seen it 9, but not recognized them for what they are. It's probably the absence of leafing. That's probably what it is. Fresh water barrel, mech tubes. You can rent them, I'm fairly certain. Wow. Hello. Let me get you add to friends list as well. When is 9? Yes. Okay. Right. If peeps would like to mention what quests they're up to, and we can start doing things as a group. Even if it's just prospecting or gathering. Like we can all go and gather in the same site. Another passionate magician. Get moved up. I don't have a quest. I am completely lost. Right, okay. So, based on what you've said about your current setup in terms of the quests that you got up to where you hit the chest thing, what are you more interested in starting off with, Demi? Are you more... I will join Team Sheelab. Are you more interested in magic, melee combat, crafting, or the extraction? That is a very cool hat. Everything but magic at this point. Magic feels like jumping in at the deep end. Okay. Then you're going to want the Phyros teacher for combat. I feel that the combat is a pretty simple one. Right over there. By the weapon merchant. So from this point, wham, straight up there. Funny Man is working on the gathering right now. They're looking for Serena seeds. Yeah, Sheelab and I are a little bit further ahead. Simply because we're a bit more familiar with the game in general. And also we've spent I was just going through and kind of refamiliarizing myself so I wouldn't be kind of locked behind all of the very, very basic quests for the sake of being able to join in and help people with some of the later ones. Oh, you set me as leader so I can invite people. Very well. Contact list. Let's bring that back up. All right. Well, let's get you an invite. Team invite. There you go. Oh, wow. This game is still going. I remember playing it like 15 years ago. Yeah, it's a very old game, yeah. Kind of doing harvesting, fighting, and magic at the same time. A lot of the skills require you to go to the same places, so there is actually some benefit in doing a bunch of the... like picking up a quest from each person at the same time. Some of them less so. Like the extraction and the early crafting ones, they don't really take you to the same places, but later on they kind of merge. It appears there are people sitting down. How does that work, Mr. Aavak? Okay, so, Pomp, I'm now sat. Hello, Tiny. Everyone is sitting. It's a sit party. Donnie said, I did the Sage quest until it said, find a team. That's fair. Yeah, that's brilliant. We can all do that together. Okay, prospecting is making me want to throw a brick at my computer. Then don't do it. Move on to something else. There are lots of other quests. And what might be beneficial is if someone else is doing prospecting quests, you both do it in the same area, since that you'd be able to kind of get a lead from each other. The community was one of the high points compared to other MMOs from what I remember. Yeah, I think Ryzom has a very dedicated, it's a small community, but very dedicated, very helpful. Right. 9, shoot me a friend invite. I presume there is a reason we are all sitting down. Education, mostly. Already have? Did I get a... I didn't see it. What's wrong, Ignis? Who educates sitting down instead of standing, locked in combat? I've opened everything because I was typing. Ah! Too many windows. Okay. But yeah, I'm actually not sure where I need to look for that. Mailbox? Dum. This is like so early 2000s, my god. And then a social thing in the bottom right, that's communication. Move. Da-dum. I got communication. That's the only one I seem to have. There are lots of different setups to this. I may be looking in the wrong place. Oh yeah, I think you have to mutually interact. I'm not entirely certain though. Let's have a look. Connection, macro, windows. Bring this up. Identity, missions, the chests of wisdom. No, go away. Action bar 1, action bar 2. Ooh, there's 2 action bars. That's kind of cool. Pockets. Yeah, I am not at all certain. Yeah, I think friends is like a one-sided thing. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one, but oh well. Mutually assured friendship. There we go. Plonk. Has that gone through now? I'm assuming it has. Also, go away, alarm. Right, who else wanted an invite? I don't get a text box, said Demudip. Morning, Entropic Radar. Masterful trolling, good sir. Carry on. Well, Aavak had an alarm at the same time as me. Thought I screwed up hitting turn off. Fair. Right, who wants... Chat, who wants a team invite? Let's get everyone together and then we'll all go and do jobs at the same time. Me, Aavak. Me want team. Yes, murder job. Okay. Dunk. ISO. Oh, I have not got you on my friends list yet. Add friends list. Team invite. Ixiage, thank you very, very much indeed for the 5 gift subs. That's super kind of you. Scrolling through Twitch, and I found a game I've not seen in ages. How's it going? We are slowly getting through all of this at the moment. I would like an invite as well. Friend. Team invite. We'll see how many I can have. It looks like quite a lot. To be fair, I think you can have an enormous amount of people on your friends list, actually. In a team. How many more people do I need to add? But Graxo, yeah, we're just doing a bit of a community game night. Ryzom is cheap and cheerful, as in free, until you want to start supporting the game monetarily. And to be honest, you can go weeks through the free content alone. And then beyond that, we'll see. But this is going to be kind of like a... Well, it's not just going to be a Saturday thing, but we'll probably be doing like community games on Saturdays, I think. Like all-day streams, and this will be it until we decide that it shouldn't be. So we'll see how that one goes. Lola's not nearby, but you've got me on your friends list. I will add you in. Dunk. So, question. Is the kind of game where being a gathering monkey is beneficial function? Oh, you can absolutely. Like, honestly, crafting and gathering is a huge thing. Huge thing. Was the timer for your tea break, perchance? It was not, but I probably should go on a tea break shortly. Okay, I think that's everyone who wanted to be in here. If anyone is missing, please speak now. No me. Which is Demi? Is it Miavan? Look at all you people with fancy names that aren't your name. Not like me. Not like the easy to spot Aavak. Making it nice and simple for all of you. Sheelab too. Miavan, very well. Let me find you. Donk. And team invite. Everyone is into passionate magic, it seems. You're all very passionate people. Except that amnesiac adventurer person. I wonder what crazy things they've been up to in their time. I felt the funny man might not fit their naming standard. That is fair, funny man. That is actually true. Well, Ignis is having fun. I'd also like it, says Arky. Very well. Let's get you added and team invite. Yeah, if I haven't already got you on the friends list, and to be honest, initially, probably even then until I get used to it, because I'm not a names person, I'm a face person. You're gonna have to, if you're asking for something in chat, you're gonna have to preface it with your naming game. Imagine not having a consistent username. I know, right? They have a lot of emotes. Yeah, because role-playing is actually quite a big thing in this game. All right. Now then. What is the consensus? Are we doing more of a combat stuff? Or are we doing magic stuff? We're not doing magic stuff, actually. I'm going to veto that one for now because that wasn't what Miavan wanted. So it's combat, extraction, or crafting. Probably crafting would be the most non-group thing for us to do, but... Yeah, Lady Shield, I had to get like 20 of the things I didn't need yesterday to get the one thing I did need. I feel you, funny man. I feel you too, because I had to be on guard duty while she was getting them. I was just stood there, fearing things that were trying to swarm her, and also getting swarmed myself, trying to fear some of those things, but then getting swarmed anyway, being slowly pecked to death by yavings. Arky says it's unable to join team. Oh, is it a limit? Oh, that kind of sucks. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Do we have 2 teams worth of people who want to do stuff? Different things. Like we could have a fighter group. Actually, yeah, okay. Since Miavan doesn't want to do magic, anyone who wants to do magic, how about we get Arky or Gajo as the magic team leader. And then anyone who wants to do combat, stick with me. So anyone who wants to do magic, you can just leave the team that I'm in right now and join up with Gajo, who is a passionate magician. You'll be in very good hands. But anyone who wants to specifically go down the combat route, you can stick with me. Where are you all currently? We're in the just by the extraction trainer. There we go. We're already getting some people switching out. This is going to be perfect. Okay. So I'm going to assume that everyone who's still with me is wanting to run some combat. Actually, Shilab, you might want to join Gajo since you and I are probably the highest levels of people here. So you'll be able to help out more in case things go a little bit awry. Aavak, do you want me to help you? Yeah, I think that would be best.